Welcome to... On tonight's Clubhouse Live, the Outlaw returns to the show. Josiah Deguara is here. And we've got one of the new guys here, too. It's Packers running back Kenyan Drake. What happened last night in New Jersey? We'll get the guys' thoughts on that tough loss. Plus, we've got a festive Clubhouse Live challenge ready to go. It is the holiday season after all, so it's time to get started. Hey, Josiah. Hey, Kenyan. Come on in.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good Tuesday evening. Welcome back to the Fox Club. We're at Neuroscience Group Field at Fox City Stadium in Grand Chute, Wisconsin. This is the home of the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, also the home to Clubhouse Live. I'm Brett Christopherson with USA Today Network Wisconsin and the Post Crescent. How's everybody doing tonight? What a crowd. Great crowd here tonight. Different night for the show. A Tuesday night sometimes can be a challenge. We got a great group of kids here as well. And they're the ones that kind of help get this show started. We call them our high fivers. They're also our high school team of the week. Give it up for members of the top-ranked state champion Kakana wrestling team. They're right there. The Ghosts are here. We will introduce you more formally to the Ghosts a little bit later in the show. Maybe, Ricardo, they have some audience questions as well. So we'll see how this goes. But a lot to get to. We got a jam-packed show, and it all starts with this. New York Giants 24, Green Bay Packers 22. That was a tough one, wasn't it? The Packers rallied, and then the Giants rallied back. Randy Bullock's 37-yard field goal as time expired snapped Green Bay's three-game winning streak and capped an overall frustrating evening for the green and gold. Malik Heath, his grab and lunge into the end zone for a 6-yard score with 1:33 remaining. That actually followed a 50-yard fumble recovery and run returned by Carrington Valentine. That gave the Packers a lead. But the Giants quickly moved into field goal range to snap defeat from the jaws of victory. Too many turnovers, too many penalties, third down struggles, a run defense that gave up over 200 yards again, too disjointed all around. Not a good performance for the Packers, right? But they still, check this out, they are still in the playoffs, right? They hold that last playoff spot regardless of what happens. So they continue to control their playoff destiny. Mad Vince is here. We haven't seen Mad Vince in a while. Doesn't like losing those football games, but he loves his football players. And our co-host is back. One of our co-hosts is back. He's sitting right over there. It is Green Bay Packers tight end Josiah Deguara is right over there, ladies and gentlemen. And check out who's hanging out with us tonight. We got another one of those new guys in the Packers locker room. It's Green Bay Packers running back Kenyan Drake. He's right over there as well. First, and as always, a big thank you to our presenting sponsors, Cellcom and Packerland Home Improvement. Cellcom has you covered for last-minute gifts. Buy one, get one free on all connected smartwatches, tablets, and cameras. Mix and match to get something for everyone. Visit Cellcom.com for details, I should say. And Packerland Home Improvement. They've delivered superior windows and doors installation service for 50 years. Take advantage of their current special. Buy one window or door, get one 60% off, plus 12 months. No payments. And for folks in the audience or watching online, right, you know the drill, get an additional $250 off your entire project simply by mentioning Clubhouse Live. Packerland Home Improvement, it matters. It's your home. You know what doesn't matter? It's when I have to introduce the other member of our Clubhouse Live crew. It is none other than Chicago Bears fan. He's feeling real cocky these days. It's Ricardo Arguello, everybody.
Yes. How we doing? Where's the energy, Brett? That's what I want to know.
Well, it was a long night and a rough night for the Green and Gold. So your Bears beat the Lions. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
5-8, playing better football. But they're ruining their draft status, their draft stock.
Their draft pick, but they still got the number one pick, Brett, of Carolina. So I'm not really too worried about that. But, hey, Brett, they're 3-1 in their last 4 games. The Packers 3-1 in their last 4 games. We should be happy together, right?
Yeah. That Week 17 game Week 18 game could mean something.
That could be for a playoff spot. Who knows? Who would have thunk it, right, Brett?
Who would have thunk it? Well, I tell you what. Let's get everybody kind of organized here and how the show works, Ricardo.
That's right. We are interactive, so we invite your comments and questions through that live chat. Brett, I'm on it right now. It's that funky new system, as you know.
Yep.
It took me a while to get used to it, but any questions that can be found online on that video chat, I'm going to relay to you and to our Packer guys here, Josiah and Kenyan.
Let's do it. Twitter, I'm at PC Bretzi. He's at Ricardo De Leon. Josiah's at Josiah D5. Not sure if Kenyan has a Twitter account or an X account. And give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/Clubhouse Live. It's Tampa week. I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers welcome mat in front of the desk for the guys to step on firmly as they come to the desk, right? We want to bring as much bad karma and bad luck to the Buccaneers as we can as we get ready for a huge game at Lambeau Field. Let's get our co-host up here. He's in his 4th NFL season all with the Packers. He blocks, he catches, he's a veteran leader. He is a Folsom, California legend. I don't know if you know that. And it was good to see that he was finally back on the field. How about a big Clubhouse Live welcome for our co-host? It's Green Bay Packers tight end, the bearded one, the outlaw, number 81, Josiah Deguara, everybody. Right. Good to see Josiah Deguara. Always enjoy our conversations, our visits.
Yes, sir. Great to be back.
It is great to see you. You look refreshed, not too tired, maybe a little tired around the eyes after a long flight back, but I got 2 programming notes to get to first before we get started. Next week's show will be back on Monday night. Keyshawn Nixon will be here, and his guest will be linebacker Devondre Campbell. The captain is coming back, our former co-host. All kicks off here at 6:30 p.m. And programming note number 2, ladies and gentlemen, we are bringing back our very Clubhouse Christmas show. We're going to do that, yes. It's going to take place next week. We will have an ugly Christmas sweater contest, so be sure to wear your best and ugliest Christmas sweater for a chance to win prizes. You must be here, must be present, register, and win. We got some great prizes, and I'll announce those on our Facebook page later on this week. There we go. You got an ugly Christmas sweater? Maybe you should just show up.
Yeah, I got one stocked up for
Do
sure.
ya?
Yeah.
Come on down. Why not?
I got one with a bunch of little faces on it of myself, actually.
Do you?
Yeah, my father-in-law got it for me. So.
That's not an ugly sweater, though, is it?
It's not a good picture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not a good picture of me. So.
Is it a bearded Josiah
Of
Deguara?
course, yeah.
'Cause
It's been a while since I haven't had the beard.
We
so.
saw the unbearded Josiah
Yeah.
Deguara from high school a little bit earlier this season. So, well, I'm afraid to ask, but how are you doing today? Are you okay? What time did the plane finally land in Green Bay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing well. Woke up this morning, so can't be doing much better than that. But, yeah, we got in late. And when you get in late after, a tough loss like that, it's always tough. Short turnaround, though, so get our mind off it and get back rolling.
You doing a little shut-eye on the plane, or are you diving right into film? How does that all work? I'm guessing it was a quiet ride home for sure.
Yeah, definitely more quiet, not as lively after a win. But a lot of guys do different things. I usually try to watch the game. I always sit next to AJ, so me and AJ sit next to each other. I'll bring a book. Sometimes I'll read, watch film. Me and the guys will have a little conversation. We got a good little crew on there, so kind of just depends. Everyone's doing their own thing after a loss. Everyone's a little more quiet, as you said. But
yeah. So, well, are those games last night? Are those outcomes worse than just a butt whooping? I mean, there was such a range of emotion, right? Malik Heath makes that great grab from a great throw by Jordan Love. All of a sudden, you're okay. You're up 1. And then just like that, the switches, it's a 180, and then you're like, oh, shoot, we didn't pull this thing out. Are those the worst types of games to kind of be a part of?
yeah, it's definitely a lot of people say you'd rather get blown out. I'd honestly rather be in a competitive game where we had a chance to win, but we put ourselves in that situation. Obviously had mistakes throughout the game that put us in that situation, but we were still able to fight back, and get the lead at the end of the game. So it's definitely a tough one to swallow, one we're going to have to learn from, watch the film, get back, throughout this week and attack it like we do every week.
And this is not a typical week, right? Typically today is your off day, but I'm sure you guys were in, so there's not really a true off day as you get ready for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, you actually have to have one off day throughout the
do?
week in the
Okay.
league. Yeah, so we did have to take off. We
Okay.
went in, got a little flush lift, but everyone knows what we got to improve on. Everyone watched film on the plane ride home, so we treat it as a day to learn and get better, and then we attack the next week tomorrow.
So it's good to see you back on the field, right? Good to have this guy back after dealing with that hip injury. How's that doing? No worse for the wear? Yeah. Feeling good?
Yeah, no, feeling great. Glad to be back out there with my teammates. So nothing like it, and yeah, feeling good.
Well, before we dive into the game a little bit, we want to talk a little bit. It's the holiday season, right? Look at the Fox Club. Give the Timber Rattlers and the Fox Club a nice round of applause. Decorating this place, looking good, nice and festive. We won't see you again until after Christmas. Actually, we won't see you till January 1st because we're going to be off Christmas week as well since Christmas is on a Monday. We're not going to have a show on a Monday night, right? But that Monday night. So what are the holiday festivities like for the Deguaras? Are you guys going to have a little family get-together on Christmas Day? You have a Christmas Eve game, so you're going to be busy then. But kind of give us a glimpse into your festive life.
This season or just in general?
Well, how about this season? What do you got?
Yeah, this season, obviously we're playing Christmas Eve. But it's actually the first Christmas with me and my wife will be together.
Okay.
So we've kind of been thinking, brainstorming a little bit, trying to figure out what our Christmas traditions are going to be because we both grew up with great family and family traditions. So we're going to start our own little Christmas traditions and, figure out what that is as our first one is coming up.
Now, are you an early shopper and present wrapper? Are you like the rest of us? You wait till December 23rd to go out and hit the streets, right, and do some shopping.
Yeah, I'm a mixture. So if I'm really transparent with my family. I want them to, if you want something, just let me know, and vice versa. Like if I want something, I'll send it to my family. So I try to get it done early, but definitely not close to being finished as of now.
So when you were growing up, were you a Christmas Eve family where all the festivities happen on that night, or did you wait till Christmas Day?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Me and my family, I got big family on both sides, my mom and my dad. So we would do Christmas Eve and Christmas, kind of vice versa each year. So we would do Christmas Eve with my dad's side, Christmas with my mom's side. So it was kind of the best of both worlds, and blessed to have a big family and support system that I was able to grow up with and have those traditions, as I said.
Now, speaking of your family, your mom and dad, they're pastors, right? At a church in Sacramento, I want to say. Is that correct? Yeah. So that adds a little different element to the Christmas season, right? So when you were growing up, did they kind of make you have to decorate the church, and you had to do all this church stuff, and you just couldn't get out of it, or what was that all about for you?
Yeah,
guys?
there was always church services. We put on, Christmas musicals, choir, whatever it may be. It was different every year. But yeah, being a PK, a pastor's kid,
a PK.
It was PK. I was always around the church during the Christmas season, and obviously, Christ is the reason for the season, and so that's really what it revolved around for us as a family.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's worthy of a round of applause for sure. That's exactly right. A few more things, and then we'll look at our Clubhouse Live gift of the night. 3 quick questions as we look back on Monday's game. But I was kind of curious how growing up in that environment, having your folks as pastors, and one of deep faith, obviously, I'm sure as well. How did that keep you grounded and maybe help keep this whole professional thing that you're doing, this whole professional football thing, keep things in perspective? Sometimes people get a little out of whack when it comes to sports and some of this frivolous stuff you might want to say when you grew up, especially with that deep faith.
No, definitely. My faith has we've talked about it a little bit before, but my faith is, why I do what I do. At the end of the day, playing football is what I do. It's not who I am. I'm a disciple of Jesus, a child of God. I'm here for a bigger purpose. So no matter what happens on the field, no matter what's going on, throughout my life, the ups and the downs, this world is wavering, right? It's, there's high highs and low lows. And at the end of the day, Jesus in my life is that constant. And, that's why I'm here. And my dad and my mom, instilled that in me, and I was able to build upon that in my own life. So I'm very blessed for the way I grew up.
Very good. Absolutely. Yeah, I hear few more claps out there. Also wanted to ask you this, Outlaw, PK. PK, that's his new nickname, Ricardo. We're going to call him PK. Your high school buddy, Jake Browning's making some headlines, right? He's lighting it up for the Bengals as their quarterback now. Josiah and Jake Browning were high school teammates over in Folsom, California. The Bulldogs, I think, was your team nickname. He's 2-1 as a starter. There's a good picture of your buddy right there, Jake Browning. He's kept the Bengals afloat after they lost Joe Burrow for the season. 110.9 passer rating. I'm sure you've reached out to him, some congratulatory texts, and surprised by what he's been able to accomplish, or maybe not.
No, I'm not surprised, man. He's a competitor, and he's been through a lot. From the time he graduated college until now, it was very well broadcasted if you've watched any of the Bengals games, how he hasn't played in 4 years. But you would never tell. He's even keeled out there. He's done a great job of preparation and it's been fun to watch, man. He deserves the moment. Obviously, you don't wish injury on any player, but for him to be able to step up and a lot of people not expecting anything or not knowing what to expect, and I think one of the broadcasters, mentioned it a lot. He just has that persona about him. He's able to be confident in what he can do, even though he hasn't played a game in a while. So, no, it's great. Yeah, I've talked to him a little bit, and we spent a lot of time together in the off season, working out and training and stuff. So it's great to see, a good friend like that do well in the league.
Absolutely, you can't have enough fulsome guys in the league, right, Josiah? So hey, Rosie, it's time for tonight's Clubhouse Live GIF of the night. Let's check it out on the big screen there. Yeah, yes. That's how everybody was feeling, right? There's that look, a look of frustration, exasperation from Coach Matt LaFleur. That's just kind of the mood right now in Titletown. So 3 quick questions, Josiah, and then we'll get Kenyan up here. But saw the game and performance kind of described, a number of people said they called it messy. I think that was a quote. Do you agree? And what word would you describe maybe or a different word if it wasn't messy? But it's certainly apropos, that seems to be right on as far as how that game went down.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a clean performance. We preached all the time, and I'm sure Matt has said it in some presser since the game, but when you lose the ball like we did, I think we lost it 3-2 or 3-1, whatever it was. It's hard to win the game when you give the ball away. And then on top of that, we didn't execute as well as we could have on offense, and then obviously didn't, do what we need to do at defense on some aspects. So, yeah, it's tough. We didn't play a complete game. We know we could play better, and it's one of those frustrating things that obviously you don't want to learn from a loss, but that's the position we're in. So at the end of the day, we got to get back, like you said, watch the film, learn from it, look at the areas that are under our control, and move on to the next week because it's another big game for us.
I'm sure Coach maybe had some other words for the game, right? That some words that we can't repeat on the show, Ricardo, right? I'm afraid to ask what today was like in the meeting rooms, but or maybe tomorrow instead. But Matt LaFleur said you guys had a great week of practice and prep, though, too. Isn't that weird? Any way to explain why that doesn't or move into to the game itself? Because usually, as you practice, you play.
Yeah, it's interesting because growing up and playing this sport, playing this game, man, you could have the best week of practice. Like Matt said, we had a great week of practice and came out and didn't play our best game, and vice versa. I believe it's more, it's definitely more consistent when you have a great week of practice. You go out there and you play, more of a complete game. You play more of a solid game most of the time. But there's those, few outliers that we had a great week of practice, didn't play well, or we had a bad week of practice and played great. So sometimes it just happens as part of the game. As professionals, we know we got to do better and we got to be better, and we expect more of ourselves. That's the biggest thing. We don't expect anything less than greatness. So we're going to go out there each week and put what we expect on the field and play a complete game, and that's not what we did this week. So we got to figure out why and move on to the next.
Question number 2, special teams. You're on special teams. Penalties have been kind of a killer, it seems like. How do you fix that? Doesn't seem like something you can practice, right? So how does that get better for these crucial 4 games coming up for you guys?
Yeah, that's just another thing of attention to detail. Practice preparation equals game reality is a big saying that we have around the facility. So those penalties come because maybe at certain times, obviously penalties happen, right? It's part of the game as well. But you just got to lock into the details in practice, the little things that come back to bite you at the end of the day. You got to make sure you're on those things in practice, making sure you look at each and every detail, and you're going into each and every week as though you're prepping for each scenario. So that's what you got to do. And, we haven't done a great job of minimizing those, penalties on defense, on special teams. So we got to do better at that and moving forward and help the team win.
Last one. And then we'll do trivia, or take a timeout, do a tonight's stat pack. But so what now? What now? What do you expect the response to be in the locker room? Because you guys are playing so well, everybody was so jacked up, and you had a little bit of a stinker. But again, you got 4 big games coming up, starting with Tampa Bay. What now? How do you think the guys are going to respond?
Man, it's the same response we've had each week. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people think when you come off a win, obviously it's a little bit more of a better feeling, but we attack each and every week the same, and we have to improve this week just like we had to improve last week. just like the week before and you know, the wins that we've had in the last few weeks. So we're going to attack it the same. We're going to come to work each and every day. Our plan is to get better on every phase in the game, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
You know, it's a weird, yeah, absolutely. It's a weird league. It's a weird league. Vikings score 3 points and win. I mean, 3-0 over the Raiders. Dolphins fall last night to the Titans, kind of a stunner. Chiefs looked like they had the win until it was an offsides call, and the right call, no doubt about it. Bunch of teams at 6 and 7 in the NFC, so you just go week to week. That's how it goes. So let's take a timeout. Let's do tonight's stat pack. Here's another NFL record that's owned by the Packers. They currently have the league's longest appearance streak on Monday Night Football at 31 consecutive seasons on MNF. The streak started back in 1993 and has continued through this season. Packers' all-time record on MNF is 37-34-1. Something more, Ricardo, that they have over your hapless Chicago Bears.
Pretty good record there, too.
Hey, yeah, let's do trivia tonight, right?
Yes, let's start off with the trivia question. First off, we'll ask the question. Here are the rules. We'll ask the question. If you think you know the answer, you have to raise your hand. Please don't shout it out. You're just helping other people win. Brett, what do they get if they do win?
We got a whole bunch of Timber Rattlers goodies. We had a cap, playing cards, and a bobblehead as well.
Great, but if once you win, though, you're out for the rest of the show. Sorry, live chatters, and they're talking to me right now on the chat, Brett. You got to be here to win.
Got to be here to win. So I'm going to ask the first question. The T-Rats cap and the playing cards are the prize. Name the 3 rookie tight ends. Josiah's going to know this. The 3 rookie tight ends who have all caught touchdown passes for the Packers this season. Where are we looking? Way back in the by the window there. He's got it. Tucker Kraft, come on up. Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave, and Ben Sims. Yes, Josiah, he'll let you give the Timber Rattlers playing cards and the cap. Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave, Ben Sims, according to the Elias Sports Bureau, the Packers are the first team in the Super Bowl era to have 3 rookie tight ends catch touchdown passes in the same season. So the tight end room definitely looking pretty good, I would say, and I think you would agree. So should we get your guest over here to the desk? Let's do this. Tonight's guest, ladies and gentlemen, he's in his 8th NFL season and his first with the Packers. He was originally selected by the Miami Dolphins in the 3rd round of the 2016 NFL Draft. Our guest tonight joined the Packers just 1 week ago and was on their active roster for last night's game. He has rushed for nearly 4,000 yards and has 33 rushing touchdowns so far for his NFL career. He has 41 touchdowns overall for his career. That's rushing and receiving. And our guest has also scored a touchdown on a kickoff return. How about this guy finding the end zone? Yes. Our guest tonight, he played collegiately at Alabama, where he scored a touchdown, ran for 77 yards, and finished with 48 receiving yards in a 35-17 victory over the Badgers, ladies and gentlemen. That was back in 2015.
He remembers that.
He does. That was a season opener. Our guest tonight was a standout prep athlete at Hillgrove High School in Powder Springs, Georgia, where he earned the state's Gatorade Player of the Year honors in football as a senior. How about that? And our guest tonight, he had no clue whatsoever that he was going to be on this show just 1 week ago, right? He had no clue that this was even existed. So how about a big Clubhouse Live welcome for Green Bay Packers running back, number 32, Kenyan Drake, everybody. He knows the drill. Stomping his feet all over that Buccaneers welcome mat. So, well, yeah, go ahead, pick up the microphone. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. And but before we get started, because this is Josiah's show, and you are Josiah's guest, Josiah insists on asking the first question of the night.
Perfect. All right, Kenyan, what so far in Green Bay has stuck out the most about this great city that we're in?
That's a great question. I think it starts with the people. I felt nothing but love and appreciation for me being here in the last week. I feel like I talked to you over in the corner, it's a really tight-knit community here. It honestly reminds me of even being back at Alabama. I don't know how many people would like me to say that, but it's just I feel like it's a really tight-knit community, great people, great atmosphere, and great football town. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, there you go. Grizzly Dan loves it. All right, Kenyon, let's cut to the chase. I'm going to say something that's going to instantly make you and I best friends forever. All right? I don't know why you're laughing. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
There you go. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say, Ricardo. Anytime we have an Alabama guy on the show, I say Roll Tide, and they want to hang out with me for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, we locked in now.
Yeah. You want to hang out? Well, you're busy tomorrow night, aren't you? You got stuff going on. But Eddie Lacy, by the way, he was on the show a few times back in the day. Let's just say things got a little bit wild, didn't it, for those that have been on the show numerous years.
He liked to have a good time, Brett.
Eddie Lacy liked to have a good time. You were teammates with Eddie Lacy, I think. Was it your freshman season?
Yeah, my freshman year.
You got some good Eddie Lacy stories for us because that guy's he's a goofball.
Yeah, Eddie is one of a kind person, as I'm pretty sure a lot of you people know. He was able to just unequivocally always be himself, and that's what I really respected about Eddie, because no matter where he was or what he was doing, he was always going to stand out in the crowd, and that was something that I kind of took with me from a personal standpoint, because almost like what you said, football didn't make him. It was just something he did and he enjoyed, but he was always going to be him at the end of the day, and I always love and respect him for that. And he actually is in my agency. I hung out with him a few times when I was in Arizona, because he lived in Arizona now, and I was playing for the Cardinals like 2 years ago. So no, we're still cool people.
Well, if you see him, tell him that his Clubhouse Live friends say hello. Again, maybe he might not remember those nights that got that out of hand. So let's cut to the chase, part two. Kenyon, a very controversial question for you.
Oh, careful here, Brett.
Should Alabama be in the college football playoff, right? That's controversy right now.
Of course.
Of course, he says.
Yeah.
Josiah, do you agree with this, huh?
Yeah, SEC champion's hard to, best division college football, or best conference college football. It's hard to knock them out of the conversation, but
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll add one thing, and only to the fact that, of course, I do feel that it's an unfortunate situation that Florida State played their schedule, went undefeated, and was kept out of the running to even be in the playoffs. But with their quarterback being injured, it's just, you look at their resume and how they finished the season and how Alabama finished the season. Of course, they had that close game against, Auburn, who everybody would think is an inferior team. But if like I know, going into Jordan-Hare, this is never an inferior team. Like, they're always going to come and, give you their best. So I feel like they definitely deserved it. But I'm partial, obviously.
You are. You're biased. But some even think maybe Georgia and Alabama should both be in it. That was a tough break for the Bulldogs. No. Kenyon says no more Bulldogs, right? Eric Stokes and those guys might disagree, of course, Quay Walker. But, we'll see. It's going to be a fun playoff. Alabama versus Michigan should be a great college semifinal, and definitely worth a watch. So do you remember anything noteworthy? I mentioned about what you did to the beloved Badger fans right here. You got Grizzly Dan wearing a Badger sweatshirt, trying to taunt you a little bit, but that was back in 2015 season opener down in where the Cowboys play AT&T Stadium. Anything noteworthy, anything that stands out what you did to the Badgers that day?
I will admit that was my first game coming off a major injury I had from my junior year. I dislocated my ankle and also had a fibular fracture. Missed the entire rest of my junior year after like 4 months, I guess, like October. So I was very nervous to kind of go out there and really get back on that stage, see, show the world and show myself what I could do. And I got a late touchdown at the end of the game. Obviously it helped a lot that, the eventual Heisman winner, Derrick Henry, went out there for 3 quarters and, wore him down for me. So I was able to just go out there and just pick him apart a little bit. But, that was a great win for us to kind of get us going in that year. And we eventually won the national championship, which was definitely something that I'll always remember.
Well, it's going to be fun. Alabama, Wisconsin this next season at Camp Randall Stadium.
Yeah,
that's going to be fun. I think then in 2025 it's down in Tuscaloosa. So, well, Josiah, what can you tell us about this guy, right? You just met him. I don't know if there's much you can tell us about him, but definitely brings a veteran leadership, I would think, veteran presence to that running backs room and the locker room. This guy's done some good work in the NFL.
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously, this is the first time we've actually got to talk backstage and off to the side. So it's been cool to just get to know him, within the last 15, 20, 30 minutes. But yeah, obviously a veteran player that's done a lot in this league, and there's a lot to say about that. So I'm glad to have him with us, and he's been a great person to have on the offensive side of the ball so far. So that's all you could ask for as a young offense. Yeah,
absolutely. Definitely a very good presence, especially in a running backs room that's banged up right now, a little nicked up. So, well, kind of the same conversation that we had a couple weeks ago with your guest Patrick Taylor, right? Remember, he was He was with the Packers and on the Patriots practice squad. The Packers signed him back. A little bit different circumstance for you, Kenyan, but still a whirlwind like it was for Patrick. It's got to be a whirlwind for you. It's just how you settling down and putting this all together and getting your feet on the ground and attacking this full speed ahead.
I'm living out my Tesla. I just got shipped up here, so all my clothes are in my Tesla. Thankfully, the hotel I'm staying in has a guest laundry room, so I was able to kind of get my clothes washed today, dried. So that was cool. But I've actually been on since camp. I started off with Indianapolis, then I went to Baltimore again after being with them last year. Then Cleveland, and now here. So I've been on 4 teams in like 4 months. So, whirlwind. Yeah, my Tesla's had a Northeast, North American like tour the last 4 months. So, but happy to be here in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Hopefully, you have that Tesla winterized because the snow is coming, Kenyan. The snow is coming. Well, how do you get yourself ready so quickly? How do you cram, right? So you know what you're doing out there, know the playbook, so that when you are called upon, which could have happened last night, but so that you're ready to go, know what you're doing out there.
I'll actually give you a quick story because I got traded from Miami halfway through the season in 2019 to Arizona. I got traded Monday morning. I landed in Arizona Monday night and had to play a game, started actually, and had to play a game on Thursday night. So 3 days to get ready. But that's the thing about an NFL week. It's almost like a season within a week because you game plan and you put certain plays, and it's not like they're throwing the whole playbook at me. So even here, it's actually funny. I joked with Jordan Love before the game because we were doing warm-ups. And when we go out on the field, there are certain plays that we call before the game, but they were all like base plays that I have never heard before. So he was calling the plays in the huddle, and I'm listening like, I don't know what to call, I don't know what to run on this. You know what I mean? But it's walkthrough, so it wasn't nothing crazy. But it just reminds you of like how extensive the playbook is. But they shrink it down for you once you kind of get here, and you have to go through a week at a time.
What's the trickiest thing to master? I was reading an article about you coming, and I think Patrick Taylor says pass protection, trying to just learn all the nuances of that. Is that the trickiest thing, or is it just the all-encompassing, trying to learn everything at full speed?
Yeah, it's definitely all-encompassing, but pass protection really for sure is because when it comes down to running, that's almost like second instinct, and from offense to offense, it's pretty similar. The jargon might be different. You might not be speaking the same language per se, but inside zone is pretty much the same inside zone, and all 32 teams, and outside zone the same way. But when it comes to pass protection, you can't guess. You have to kind of be on your mark when it comes to that, because you have to be on the same wavelength as the other 10 guys on the field. Or your quarterback is going to end up on his back, and that's the last thing you want, especially from a running back standpoint or anybody protecting the quarterback. So that's definitely probably the hardest thing to kind of master when you kind of come in on a last-second type of situation.
Good stuff with Josiah Deguara, Kenyan Drake, right, everybody? Excellent conversation with these guys. Keep moving down the script. How much can you just rely being a veteran? Right, you know the league, you know these locker rooms. I gotta think it's got to be easier to acclimate yourself to the locker room and a new team, being 8 years in versus if this was your rookie season, for instance.
Yeah, it's funny. The offense, I think, historically is young, so it's a lot of guys that are first, second year guys that are getting a lot of playing time, and I got in the locker room, and so how the locker room is set up. The active 53 guys are kind of like in one area, and then there's like another like partial connected area where the practice squad guys are, and I'm currently in a practice squad, so I'm kind of in that back area, and all those guys are all rookies or maybe second year guys, so there's no differentiating in that sense. But when I came in, they all were kind of like, man, I remember when you were at Alabama, man, I was like 12 years old, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, pump the brakes, you know what I mean? But it's kind of cool just being around those guys, and they asked me, what it's like to kind of be in the league this long, or even be in a situation where and many hats I have worn, from being a guy at one point, or being special teams guy, or now being practice squad guy. How do I kind of maneuver through that? And I just say I'm just me. I go and I wake up and I play this game that I love, and I give it my all regardless of the situation, because I'm here for a reason, and that's to help the team win games no matter my role.
I was going to ask your role, because you were active last night, so you were ready to go, but is that just kind of how you see the thing evolving for you? Whatever is needed, right? Wherever they need you, special teams, like you said, if you need to go out there and tote the ball a few times, whatever is needed, you're going to do. Yeah,
you can't have an ego, because at the end of the day, it's a business, and you want to go, and everybody comes into their career and they see that gold jacket. Everybody wants to shoot for that, which everybody should, because you want to be the best you can be, and your highest potential should always be to be whatever that is for yourself. But regardless, it's a team sport. You got 50-some odd players, plus obviously practice squad, coaches, GM, fans. Like, everybody's depending on you to go and do your job, and whatever that role is, you should be able to relish in it. And that's what I've kind of learned going into year 8, being on 4 teams in 4 months, is be you. At the end of the day, nobody's asking you to be anything more than that. And once you take how you really feel personally out of it, you can just enjoy it to its purest form.
Is that what keeps you going? Because you say 4 teams in 4 months. Some guys would be like, that's it. All right, I'm 8 years in. I've had enough. But what keeps you going? What keeps you doing this thing?
I love the game, man. I love the game. I love being around people that genuinely love playing the game, genuinely love being around somebody that has that genuine energy, which I try to exude. And the more that I'm around players, fans, this type of environment, it just feeds my soul, because this is something that I've always dreamed of, and no matter the role I'm in, 6-year-old, 7-year-old me would have never guessed that I would be in this position. So I'm just happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you here, right? Great conversation. A few more things, and Ricardo, I'm going to kick it over to you for our social media question tonight. But in doing some research on you, Kenyan, doing some stalking, as some people like to say I do, but in high school, I see you volunteered year-round as a baseball and football instructor at local youth camps. I see you worked with the Boys and Girls Clubs, which you spent time in growing up as well. So why is it important for you to give back? Where did that come from?
I just feel like anybody, there's like a platform for people to give back. Growing up, we used to go to homeless shelters in college. We used to go to soup kitchens, things like that, and to use my platform to impact people that are less fortunate than me, or whatever the situation may be, is something that I try to kind of exude around me, and personally, just because it's not even just a season, but it's just something that's important to me. It's a big world out there, and a lot of people aren't fortunate enough to watch football, watch something they love, let alone play it. So I'm also involved in a nonprofit called Smile Train that helps people that are affected by cleft lip and cleft palate, and that's actually gave me an opportunity to go to Brazil. I've been to Mexico City, I've been to Argentina, I've been to Colombia, to be an ambassador for this nonprofit, and help me spread football, spread the gospel, spread just anything that I can kind of give positive energy to people in situations that I look around in the U.S. and it's a great situation compared to there. So I just love to just help and be a positive influence in the world.
Very good, right? We need more of that. I actually have Smile Train here on the script, so I'm glad you brought that up. But last thing I saw, you have an interest in space and NASA? Is that true? What, do you want to be an astronaut, or what's going on here?
Yeah,
you want to go to the moon?
Yeah, I used to want to be an astronaut. Then I realized that you had to be, inept in math, and I never really was. So, but I do love watching documentaries. I love, people that are involved in it. And it's just something that's always fascinated me because of, when you think about the idea of space, whether you believe the Earth is flat or not, that's a whole different question and, conversation. But, it's just the immensity of it is just fascinating to me. And it's just something that has always interested me and something that I will continue to, dive deep into because the science is just so, well above our understanding of really what's out there. So it's cool to me.
Very good stuff. Again, with Kenyan Drake, Josiah Deguara, Ricardo, it's your turn.
That's
we have
right.
tonight's social media question of the night. I believe it's for the Outlaw, right?
Yes, it's from our friends, Bonnie and Gary Bose. Am I saying that
Yep.
right? They want to know, do you think of football as fun or work?
Well, that's a good question.
It's fun, man.
Okay.
Just like he was saying, man, we love to play this game. We do it because we like going out there with our teammates each and every day. Obviously, there's a work aspect to it, and we know it's a business, as Kenyan said. But at the end of the day, man, we're playing a kid's game as work. It's our job to play a kid's game. So, yeah, we come to work every day and have a little fun for sure.
Good question. Yes, for having their questions selected. Yeah. Bonnie and Gary want a signed photo of Josiah Deguara. Each week we'll ask you to submit a question for our co-host or guest that we'll ask live during Monday's show. Look for it on Facebook.com/Clubhouse Live. By the way, good message for our high school team of the week as well, right? Have some fun. You're at the end of the day, it's a game, right? It should never be work. So let's take another timeout, Ricardo. And hey, folks, before we get to trivia and our game, be sure to stick around for this great Mean Gene bobblehead that we're going to be giving away at the end of the show, our unofficial mascot. We also have this Leroy Butler bobblehead as well that we're going to be giving away as well, courtesy of our friends at Bobbles Galore. And that's not all. Rosie, we got a couple new bobbles that you can put on the screen from our friends at Bobbles Galore. First, Bobbles Galore has a great new bobblehead of Romeo Dobbs right there on the screen. Yes, in fact, 2 new bobbleheads of Dobbs. You can see one in the regular jersey, one in the throwback jersey. Only 250 of each were made, so it is a very limited edition. Because of logistics problems, Bobbles Galore can't guarantee delivery by the holidays, so they have a special bonus for Clubhouse Live fans. Anyone who orders a Dobbs bobblehead before January 1st will then get an Alan Lazard bobblehead, which we have up there, for free. The Lizard, our former co-host, right there he is, the Lizard King. Just use the code CLUB, C-L-U-B, when ordering on the website at bobblesgalore.com. So get in on that Romeo Dobbs bobblehead, and you will get a free Alan Lazard bobblehead as well. So, hey, Ricardo, trivia question number 2. What do you got?
That's right. I need you 3 to kind of look out in the crowd and see who raises their hand first, but here we go. Up next for the Packers is a showdown against the Buccaneers. The 2 teams hooked up in a memorable matchup at Lambeau Field in 1985, a game that was dubbed the Snow Bowl after a foot of snow blanketed Green Bay and the region. Green Bay won 21-0 thanks to the play of this quarterback who threw for 299 yards.
We going back there against the wall? Yeah. Yeah, you got it right. Your hand was up first. Lynn Dickey, come on up. You get a Timber Rattlers Fang bobblehead, the Shanty Man. Lynn Dickey. You ever heard of Lynn Dickey? You ever meet Lynn Dickey?
No.
He's a great. He was number 12 before number 12.
Oh, really?
Back in the 8.
Wow.
He could sling it. He was Ricardo, right? He was an excellent quarterback.
He had the mobility of a skyscraper, but the man could throw the football. No doubt about it.
Terrible knees. Yes, terrible knees. You at the Snow Bowl over. Would you like to play in that game? A foot of snow blanketed Lambeau Field, but they still played the game.
You're scaring Kenyan.
Kenyon's going to take that Tesla and head back to Georgia and say, forget this. I want nothing to do with that. Lynn Dickey, 22 of 36 pass attempts and leading a Packers offense. 512 yards that day in a foot of snow. The Buccaneers just 65 yards. Steve Young was a quarterback for Tampa Bay that day as well. But look up Lynn Dickey. He had a rifle for a right arm, no doubt about it. So, hey, Rosie, we need some music. It is time for tonight's Clubhouse Live Challenge. Here we go. This is sponsored by Munoz Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, your center for dental excellence. Voted Reader's Choice Best Dentist, Best of the Bay in back-to-back years, right? Let Dr. Sebastian and his team of professionals help you achieve your dream smile. Guys, we're going back to the good old original. We are going to play How Well Do You Know, right? I know you guys play in the locker room every Wednesday, right?
Yeah, all the time.
It's a
all the time.
big deal, Ricardo, in the locker room. Kenyon, I'm sure you've heard about this game throughout your stay in the league as well. It's that well known. So this is what we do. It's a rapid-fire trivia contest. I will ask you 5 questions. They each pertain to the same category. If you think you know the answer, you ring that bell. Give it a shot. That's how you do it. You can even interrupt a question, right? Yes, Josiah, we know how the bell works. Okay, so each question is worth 1 point. Ricardo will keep track.
Yep, I got it.
And then at the end of those 5 questions, Kenyon, there will be a bonus question of a point total that I will determine to make sure Josiah wins the game because it is his show.
Even though I've lost before.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
So you guys have playing partners tonight. So Josiah, your playing partner is Travis Riggles. He's back there, right there. Travis Riggles, wave your hand. Yep, that is your playing partner. And Kenyon, it is Steve Hermes. He's back over there against the window. So this is what you're playing for tonight. The winner goes home with these cool Packers Snowmen coasters, huh? Courtesy of our friends at
Nice.
Shields. Right? Those will look pretty good in the festive decorated room. You also get a signed photo of the Outlaw. Look at that, Josiah Deguara, and some Packers can koozies, courtesy of our friends at Shields, and they have different sides. Okay. The runner-up tonight goes home with everything except the Snowmen coasters. Okay. That's how we do this. So you need the category. You need the category tonight. The category for How Well Do You Know? Of course, it's Christmas and other Yuletide stuff.
Yes.
Right? Christmas stuff, Yuletide stuff. How you guys feeling?
Confident.
Sounds like Roll Tide, so I like it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yuletide.
Here we go. Here we go. So, who thinks Josiah's winning the game tonight, ladies and gentlemen?
Come
I never get
on.
the applause.
They're always for the guests.
I never
aren't
get
they?
the applause. Always for the guests. It's
Who
all
thinks
good.
Kenyon is winning the
Underdog.
game tonight? They always love the guest. Doesn't matter if it's you, it doesn't matter if it's Keyshawn. So, okay, here we go. Ricardo, are you ready?
I am ready.
Guys, trivia question number 1. What is Bing Crosby dreaming of? Josiah.
White Christmas.
White Christmas is right. Ricardo scored.
1-0, Josiah.
1-0, Josiah. That's how fast we play. Kenyon, are you ready for trivia question number 2?
Yeah, I think.
In the classic holiday movie National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which is on all the time, my favorite, what is the name of Cousin Eddie's dog? Josiah.
It's not.
Ricardo scored.
2-0, Josiah.
2-0,
Are we
Josiah.
getting help? Okay.
Snots. Snots is the dog. Ricardo, is that your favorite holiday movie?
No, not mine. Elf or Trading Places.
Elf
but-
is good. Home Alone is really good too.
Home Alone's good, yeah.
Home Alone is really good. All right, 2-0, Josiah. Are you ready now? You
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
see it. Gotta get
Don't
yourself
call it a
back.
comeback.
Here we go. Besides Rudolph, what are the names of Santa's 8 other reindeer? Okay.
Oh.
Kenyon.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Dotson, Blitzen, Comet, Donner, Cupid.
That's more than 8.
Well,
That's more than 8. How
I
many
think
is that?
he hit them all.
I think there were a few other ones he
There were a
added
few
in
other
there.
ones, but he did get
Yeah.
them all somehow in there. So
Did you
Ricardo,
say 12 or
He got some
I think
cousins
he had
in
12
there.
reindeer.
He got some cousins in there.
He
yeah,
had
some nicknames.
he had Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donder, Blitzen, but he also added Datsun, like the car.
Yes.
I heard that one.
Yes.
Tesla, Honda was in there. All right, 2-1. The Outlaw, Josiah, is still winning this game, right? Trivia question number 4. Another holiday movie, A Christmas Story. There's another classic, right? What do people always tell Ralphie when he tells them he wants a Red Ryder BB gun? Yes, Josiah.
You're going to shoot your eye out.
Yes,
I knew that one on my own.
He knew
I
that
know
one on
my
his
own.
own.
3-1, Josiah.
You'll shoot your eye out, right? That's another good one. That's another good one.
I need
So-
to refresh on my Christmas classes.
yeah, you're going to have to watch some of these movies when you get back to the hotel tonight, right? Here we go. Trivia question number 5. In the mega hit, Ricardo, this is a mega hit.
Yes.
Deck the Halls, all right? That's a mega platinum number 1. How many la's are in fa la 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 la? Yes, Kenyon. 7 is incorrect.
7.
8.
Yes, Ricardo scored 8.
I was one
Yes,
off.
4-1 Josiah.
He was 1 off. Kenyan, fa la 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 la.
The last law.
La 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 la
Nothing
la
like
la 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 la. Okay, so 4-1. That makes this bonus question worth
See,
4
I
points.
try to do mental math. That's why I'm not a
It's a quick one. It's
I'm
a
not a
tough one.
NASA astronaut.
Here we go. 4-point question for Kenyan to win the game. What did my true love give to me on the 4th day of Christmas? Whoa! Yes. Who hit it? Kenyan got it?
4 calling birds.
4 calling
Whoa!
birds is correct, Ricardo.
That's it, 5-4.
Kenyan wins the game. Somehow he got it. And Ricardo, or Rosie, we need some championship music. Steve, you're going home with the coasters, the signed photo, and the Packer can koozie. Travis, hey, you're still going home with the signed photo and the can koozie. You can claim your prizes afterwards. How about a big round of applause for the guys tonight? They know their Christmas and Yuletide stuff. Kenyan, how did you come up with that answer? You just know that song.
It just came to me
It just came to me.
in a dream.
It seemed like there was somebody screaming it at the top of his lungs out there, but 4 calling birds is correct. So, good stuff, guys. Get you in the holiday spirit. You know what we're gonna do, Ricardo? Though we got some great guests here tonight. Some very lot of accolades for this program. It is our high school team of the week. Who is it, Ricardo?
It is the 3-time defending Division I state wrestling champ, Kakana Goes. Let's
Stand up,
give it a
guys.
hand.
Stand
Hey,
up.
We need you to stand up. Now, Brett. Let
Ricardo.
me tell you something.
List all the accolades.
Well, we all know how hard it is to win a championship. These guys doing it 3 times in a row, Brett. They are, and I've said this many times, am I right, Brett? The platinum program in Wisconsin when it comes to wrestling. I mean, I don't know, Josiah and Kenyan, I don't know if you guys wrestled in high school. These guys take it to the top level. These guys are the best. Every time they go out, they're whooping teams. I can say this, you guys can't, but they're whooping their opposing teams, Brett. They go down to the field house. They win those state championships, and their individual wrestlers win state championships as well. Brett, past 3, we talked about that. They're also coached by Wisconsin Wrestling Hall of Famer Jeff Machik. Where's Jeff?
There's Coach.
There he is.
He's back there, yeah.
So,
There he's on the screen.
So, Brett, they're ranked number 1 again this year. They could go for the 4-peat this year.
Well, they won 7 out of the last 10.
7 of the last
right?
10.
Yeah, 7
so
of the last 10
that's a
state
lot of
titles.
gold. That's a lot of gold. Oh, and I might add, where's my guy Lucas Peters? He's a Bears fan.
Okay,
right there, yeah. All right.
We don't like that. We don't like that. You know what would be cool, Ricardo, is to have one of the guys demonstrate some moves on you.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
My wrestling days are over.
My guess is the lightest wrestler could probably still take you down in 3 seconds.
Give me 4. 4
4
or 5.
seconds?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can last 4 or 5. So
there you go. How about another round of applause for the
Yes.
great Kakana wrestling team? Every year. Every stinking year, right?
It's a pleasure to cover them. I've been doing this for a long time. This is a program that year in and year out, Brett, they have the best stories, they have the best athletes. They're underrated almost in some respects as well. Best wrestling team in the state.
Well, it's great that we can honor these guys here tonight. Do you have any audience questions?
I don't have any audience questions.
Okay, so well, thank you guys. And one of the great things, again, Ricardo, about being here at the Fox Club now with all this room is we are able to recognize all these great high school
That's true.
athletes throughout Northeast Wisconsin because, as we always say, this is one of the top areas in the state for high school talent.
Hotbed for top talent, no doubt
Northeast
about
Wisconsin and Southeast Wisconsin are the 2 hotbeds without a doubt. So, all right, a few more things, guys, and we'll wrap it up and get you guys back to Green Bay. But Josiah, I wanted to ask you about this, My Cause, My Cleats. I don't think we talked about this on the show, did we? I know that you have a great cause. It's about kids. I was seeing a video about. So why don't you tell everybody here about your My Cause, My Cleats story?
Yeah, this was my cause a couple years ago. But Yeah, it was about kids. It's actually a nonprofit in Sacramento, California, where I'm from. Pretty much just gives kids the opportunity to have a great first day. Is kind of their slogan. They have kids before their first day of school come to the local church, and they're able to get school supplies, free haircuts, free shoes, clothes, all that type of stuff for no cost. So I think they do about 300, 400 kids every year, and it continues to grow. And in the community, they also give different sports teams equipment, as well as different buying out different teams and for the fields and renting fields and stuff like that for the needs of the community. So it's a great organization and something I love to be involved with.
Very good stuff, right? Yeah, about kids. Check it out. I'm just kind of curious. How does a player get into the My Cause, My Cleats? You just say to the team, I want to be part of this, or do you have to formally sign up, or how does that work?
So pretty much, like Kenny was saying, a lot of guys around the league are involved in nonprofit, whether it's donations or starting them themselves. So pretty much, the week of My Cause, My Cleats, or 2 weeks, I think they do it. It just gives the guys opportunities to showcase those organizations, and you pretty much just submit whatever organization you want, and a lot of guys have cleats customized. So it's a pretty cool thing the league does.
Yeah, it is a real cool thing the league does, no doubt about it. So two things. Josiah, maybe Kenyan too, how do you make sure that this Giants letdown, right, doesn't creep in and affect this big game against Tampa Bay Buccaneers? How do you just flush that out and move on? Maybe you guys have already.
Yeah, I mean, it's always on to the next. Like I said, we're going to learn from it, watch film, learn from it. There's never a win or a loss. You got to learn from both. But especially during a loss, we got to learn from it. But it's on to the next starting tomorrow morning. We know what we have to do. We know what's ahead of us. We're treating every week like a playoff game from here on out because it is pretty much. So we got to do what we got to do, this week versus Tampa, and we all know that.
I was going to ask, a big game with playoff implications. Obviously, Tampa Bay is fighting with New Orleans and Atlanta for that AFC South, or NFC South, I should say, all three 6-7. You're 6-7. I was going to ask, last thing, are you guys allowed to talk playoffs? Are you allowed to say the P word in the locker room, or is Matt LaFleur saying that is a forbidden, taboo word?
No, I mean, it's the goal every year. I mean, it's the Super Bowl, and the way to get to the Super Bowl is get to the playoffs. So it's not talked about or hidden. Like, that's our goal. So we know what we have to do to get there, and yeah, we talk about it often because that's what we got to do. But it's definitely game by game. We're not looking ahead. Each and every week is its own week, and this game is the most important because it's the next game. So that's our mindset.
How about Josiah Deguara and Kenyan Drake tonight? That was a good show. Another good show. Every week, another good show, right? Every week we have great shows. So, hey, Ricardo, it's time to go up north. This is when we predict who is going to win the next game the Packers are going to play. We have Packers, Buccaneers, Sunday, high noon, the best time of day to play a football game, right? We don't have to wait till nighttime or Monday night. You can play it at high noon. Who is going to win the game, Ricardo?
Listen, as much as I want to see the Packers lose,
easy now.
I didn't think they'd lose against the Giants, to be quite honest to you. So I can't see them losing 2 in a row. And, Brett, I want that Week 18 matchup to mean something with Chicago. Maybe a chance for a playoff berth. Who knows what'll happen? I can't see them losing the Buccaneers at Lambeau. Not 2 in a row. So, unfortunately, I am picking them to win, Brett.
All
Packers.
right. There you go.
It pains me to do this.
Well, look what I brought back because you guys, the winter cap ran out of magic. I'm bringing back the victory visor. It's going back on my head. A lot of wins from this victory visor. How about Packers 27, Tampa Bay 21? Another good game. Both teams are 6-7. Baker Mayfield, Ricardo, he's good for a turnover too.
You know he's going to throw a pick or two,
got
man.
to.
That's what he does.
Look for the Packers to hopefully maybe get back some reinforcements as they load up for this playoff push. I think Green Bay bounces back offensively, gets a big performance out of the run game. Maybe this guy, maybe Kenyan Drake gets in the end zone. You never know. Packers pull out the win to even their record, keep themselves very much in playoff conversation. You guys are in the playoffs actually still right now. You hold that number 7 seed in the NFC. So, hey, Packers News app, Ricardo, how's that work?
Yeah, with exclusive commentary, insider analysis, and award-winning photos and videos from USA Today Network, Wisconsin's Packers coverage team. Brett, that Packers News app, your one-stop shop for complete coverage of the Green Bay Packers. Unlimited digital access to the Packers News app And PackersNews.com can be yours for as low as under $1.99 for that first month. Please subscribe today, Brett, because we need that money.
Absolutely. Thanks to our sponsors and friends. First, our presenting sponsors, Cellcom and Packerland Home Improvement. We also want to thank our segment sponsors, Bobbles Galore and Munoz Family Cosmetic Dentistry. And finally, thanks again to our supporting sponsors and friends. We have Shields, Escort Limousine Service, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear, Mayfield Sports Marketing, Mike Thiel and Eric lives here, Miller Lite, and as always, the good folks here at the Fox Club and the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. Two quick promos, Rosie, if you could put up the first one, the Holidays with the Pack promo. I just want to mention that one more time. See members of the Super Bowl 31 champion Green Bay Packers team as part of the Holidays with the Pack event. That's going to be held this Saturday, coming up at the Fox River Mall right here down the street in Grand Chute. Holidays with the Pack is presented by Mayfield Sports Marketing. You can find the event at the Target wing of the mall beginning at 11 a.m. Meet and get signed items by these Super Bowl winning Packers greats. They're going to have Gilbert Brown's going to be there, Santana Dotson, Andre Rison, Earl Dotson, Dorsey Levens, Antonio Freeman, and the Pro Football Hall of Famer, Leroy Butler. Find more details, including pricing and merchandising info on the Mayfield Sports Facebook page. And let's put the other one up there, Rosie, because we got to salute this guy, if you have the other one. But there's Mean Gene. There he is. Our unofficial mascot, guys. We want to say congratulations to our unofficial mascot, Kenyan. We got a Mean Gene bobblehead for our unofficial mascot right there. That is now being featured, Josiah, by the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum. How about that in Milwaukee? So Mean Gene is in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Mean Gene. It was still our bobblehead first, though, okay? It wasn't yours, bobblehead museum. It was ours first. So, hey, you got the final word tonight. We're not going to see you till the new year, but got anything to say to these great Packers fans that are pulling so hard for you guys to win out?
Yeah, we thank everybody for coming out tonight, listening online and tuning in. But, yeah, let's get back on track this week, get a dub versus Tampa, and go, Pack, go.
There you go. Keep those claps coming for the Outlaw, for Kenyan, for Ricardo and the Clubhouse Live crew. I'm Brett Christopherson saying so long. Be back here next Monday night at 6:30 as we celebrate a Packers victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Keyshawn Nixon and Devondre Campbell. The captain is coming back. In the meantime, Mean Gene, it's your turn. Take it away.